Manacled, a Harry Potter dystopian fan fiction. I really got sucked into this one. If you loved Harry Potter, but you were rooting for Malfoy or belong to House Slytherin and don't mind triggers or dark vibes, you might like this. The premise is an alternative ending to the Harry Potter series starring Hermione and Draco Malfoy. I didn't have any trouble getting into this book right away. There are some slower parts, but mostly at the start of the book, where Hermione is just a captive struggling with depression. Overall, I liked the pace of the book and give it 3 stars for moderate speed. I don't want to give too much away, but I will say that the first section of the book is pretty confusing because you see it all through Hermione's eyes and she is extremely confused and emotional. I was so wound up after the first part, I wanted to understand what was happening. The second section satisfies this need. The ending is so good. It does get a bit drawn out at the very last bit, but I was very pleased with how it all came together. The only reason this didn't make top shelf for me is because I'm not Team Dramione. It really is quite good. Now I am looking at other Harry Potter fan fictions with greedy eyes. Retellings are so fun. I stayed up late so many nights to read this. On the left-hand side of the page, you can see my ratings by category. This book got a lot of stars in most of the categories. The lowest one is action with only 3 stars, and I gave it this many stars because it's more of a moderately paced book rather than a fast-paced book. I really loved the main character. I have always loved Hermione Granger. And as far as the chemistry, I rated it orange just because I'm not really a Draco fan. For mentation, I put no new neurons because I felt like this book was more of an entertainment piece rather than expanding or challenging my mind. This book was definitely a happy ending type of book, although I wouldn't put it top shelf and I'm unlikely to reread it. It gets 4 peppers for spice, and the general vibes include dark romance, good versus evil, shades of gray, abuse, ethical dilemmas, depression, hope, magic, grief, torture, and resilience. This was the first fan fiction I've ever read, and I was pleasantly surprised at how good it turned out. For what it is remarkable, and I could easily see it being a published book. This is definitely not a children's book, though, and there are some heavy trigger warnings. So take care when choosing who to give the book to. That's about all I have to say about this book. Bye-bye. Subscribe.